Hello everybody, and if you were wondering why I am so up close today, well that's because we're going to be looking at embouchure and some things to do with how we formulate sounds, or form sounds on the shakuhachi. And the best way to do this is to be nice and close up and personal. So, the first thing is just, here's a general look at what my embouchure looks like. So, one thing you might notice is that I don't try to do too much movement with my face. I'm not trying to pull back in this way or to pull down either, but rather what I aim for is natural. Everything with the shakuhachi for me should be very natural and should just be as if we're talking. So the way I still use my lips when I'm talking right now to you and giving you this lesson is the same way that I do the embouchure. So the other way that I focus on creating this more of a natural embouchure, and before I even say this and go on, is that there are multiple other facets of the throat, the chest, the stomach, and the mouth that I'm not talking about. But those do have a major effect on your sound. But I just want to talk here with the embouchure, and I don't even like that word embouchure because it doesn't allow itself to change, right? When we think this embouchure, we think of this fixed position, but shakuhachi embouchure is not fixed at all. If I play here the ro, you can see the embouchure hole, and then there's the go no ha, and you can see a major shift in that shape. So I prefer the word aperture because an aperture on a camera will open and close to allow the certain amount of light in. Well, the same thing with our kind of our musical aperture or musical embouchure. We have to be able to let a certain amount of air out at its particular speed, which allows us to get different notes and different partials. Second thing that I wanted just to mention briefly is how I kind of formulate a note in general is from the ah-oo shape. So I've talked about this before in previous lessons, but just here, just talking about that, ah, that little shape there. Now, if I hold up properly, you can hear that there's the start of a sound there. And I'm not pushing out any air, I'm just allowing the excess air in the mouth to come out. And that's what starts the sound. And then I let the air come out afterwards. Now, that entire process happens very quickly. So you almost don't, and I'm even slowing it down there, but you don't really hear that you, rather than you hear the ooh sound that comes out of the shakuhachi. Now, that's the main thing about the embouchure. It really shouldn't be something that we contort our face to in order to make a sound. Second thing that I want to mention to people is be really careful about your tongue position. Sometimes what happens is people will put their, like I've seen it before like this, tongue under here, this lip. That's for kana playing, right? You don't want to do that. What I do instead is I think of an ah. So if you go to the doctor's office and the doctor says, say ah, ah, and the tongue comes down flat. Ah. I think that's the best for the starting player to work with. All right, I know it's a short video and a quick lesson, but I hope it was helpful, and I'll see you guys next time for another shakuhachi tutorial.